Greetings, friends, and welcome to another episode of The Mistake Zone, your weekly dose of our lives and the mistakes within them. My name is Jaren Wade. Joining me, as always, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Matt Alba. Hey, Matt.
Yo.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Matt, that's great. Matt, before I kind of get into my, because Matt, you know, we always start off with a little aside at the start of the week just to see where our mistakes are landing. But I still have so everyone knows we do the Real Mistake Zone League 2026.
Yes.
So I have our Fantasy Critic League open right now, pre-refresh. So this is pre the bids being processed last night. So Matt,
okay,
I'm looking at this pre-processed bid. So someone bid on Densha Attack, the Blood of the Dawnwalker, and then next the unannounced next mainline Star Fox game. Matt, before I refresh this page to see where all these games landed, did you bid on any of these three games?
I did not bid on any of these three games. Jaren, if you don't end up with Densha Attack, I'm going to legitimately be surprised.
Okay. Matt, I'll say it right now. I don't have Densha Attack.
Oh no, what?
So Matt, I'm going to hit the refresh just to see where all these landed. So Matt, we're looking at... So Julian got Blood of the Dawnwalker, Rakush got Densha Attack, and the mainline Star Fox game. Matt, how are you feeling about the bids from our boys right now?
Has there been any talk about a new Star Fox game?
Yes, that was linked with the rumors that there would be the Ocarina of Time remake. And that's why I think those rumors also got a lot more traction just because they came from quote unquote credible leakers, but also because of the Star Fox inclusion in the latest Mario movie.
That makes sense. Okay, that tracks. I had not heard about that at all.
Where I think with Star Fox, the speculation is the Nintendo Direct equivalent around June and either a surprise drop or at least by summer, because I believe the Ocarina of Time remake is speculated to be towards the fall. And I don't know, Matt. You know, the Mario movie, a month now behind us, coming soon to streaming services to rent or own. Matt, what's your appetite for a new Star Fox game?
Oh, I would be curious. Okay, Jared, I'm not so hungry for Star Fox that I would pay $90 for Star Fox.
Yes.
But I would like to see a new Star Fox entry. Because, I want to see if and how they're going to change it up.
Yep. Where... I don't know. Matt, would you want pure, on-rail shooter, or would you still want some of that adventure, platformer action type gameplay as a companion piece to it? Like, what do you want Star Fox, or do you want it to be a roguelite? What do you want Star Fox to be in 2026?
I was about to say that I think that of all the Nintendo games, Star Fox was already basically sort of a roguelike. It had the nodes and stuff. So once you start putting power-ups and stuff in there, that's a roguelike, baby. I think personally I would expect it to be the on-rails type, because I never played any of the adventure-y ones, so I can't really speak on that part. But were the adventure-y ones was that the on-foot ones, or is this you could actually wander in the ships?
Oh no, on foot type gameplay as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's on the docket. And Matt, while we're still talking about Fantasy Critic, I was going to put a bid this week, but then the bids were gone. But since I'm pretty sure our friends don't listen to this podcast whenever... Matt, I was going to do this as a goof, but I want to talk shop with you.
Okay.
Matt? Should I bet on Half-Life 3?
Oh. Jared, I think that's I want you to bid on it because I need something to counterpick.
Yeah. Matt, not going to lie, with the upcoming release of the Steam controller and all the rumblings that maybe Valve got a bunch of shipments of a potential console, aka the Steam machine. That they need a heavy hitter to launch, right?
I mean, I don't know if the Steam machine's gonna come out. I feel like they're still in like RAM limbo.
Oh, Matt. If on Thursday evening when you check the current bids, if you see Half-Life 3 there, you'll know who dropped it. You'll know who dropped it.
Oh man!
But with Fantasy Critic out of the way, Matt, what have you been up to this week, man? What are some mistakes that you find yourself coming across?
Jaren, I have been deeply experimenting with turnip cakes.
Okay.
Because Jaren, I went to Gacha Queen a while ago, and I really like their spicy turnip cake. So now turnip cake has become my obsession food.
Matt, those are the turnip cubes, correct?
Yes.
Or is it something else?
Yeah, it's that one. It's a spicy turnip cubes.
That's honestly my go-to. Well, Kanji Queen being this Chinese restaurant, and Matt, that's my go-to. I love the turnip cakes from there. Matt, are you making them yourself now, or
Jaren? I've been trying to remake them myself. I've been trying to use turnip cakes and other things. Jaren, I had crispy turnip cakes with denuga on. Oh, that slaps, Jaren.
That sounds delicious and delectable, Matt. Now you're making me hungry.
Man.
Where
so good.
I just had a big breakfast and I wasn't planning on eating till dinner, but sometimes the call of food is too hard to resist. But Matt, it's you and me on a podcast, so that means we have to bring back the Gacha Gang. We have to, we have to explore this gachapocalypse wasteland. But I need to bring it back one more time before we get into the gachapocalypse.
Okay.
Because I know Fortnite recently added pro vocals to their Fortnite festival, and that made Julian start to play a lot more, and that finally got me around to updating my cracked Les Paul guitar controller so I could play Rock Band. And honestly, I did play around with Julian and his partner on Fortnite Festival, and I'm getting that itch again, man. I'm getting that itch again. But when playing Rock Band 4 again, I'm scrolling through all of my songs, and I'm looking at all my previous high scores, and it's that cold sweat feeling of, Matt, I'm so washed now, where all my high schoolers of yesteryear are just a thing of the past. They're fleeting. Matt, I can't grasp those anymore. Where, for me, I used to do a warm-up song on hard and then just instantly sight read full combo that song for the first time, where I prided myself in all hard mode songs were 100% full combo.
Man.
In 2026, after almost 7 years without playing Rock Band, it's tragic, Mac. It's tragic.
Oh, man.
Where I had to humble myself, started playing on medium just so I can get the muscle memory kicking back
Jaren,
again.
not medium.
But Matt, when I finally was able to start getting accustomed to hard, I'm still not full comboing on a sight read anymore, but it's slowly coming back. Matt, it's slowly coming back.
Oh no!
Where I think between pro vocals on festival and with them constantly delisting Rock Band 4 DLC just because all the licenses are expiring, Matt, I think this might be the summer we try to bring the band back together.
Ooh.
And not gonna lie, using this podcast mic on Fortnite to do pro vocals is still pretty fun. And I think that that Tito karaoke energy has finally come for me, Matt.
Yo, Jared, I still got a set of drums. Yo, let me know.
Might have to get the band back together, Matt. But before we can do that, this is the introductory movie to Rock Band 1. That cinematic where they're all in the gachapocalypse wasteland. It's me and you as the Gacha Gang. And Matt, this has been on the docket for months now. Matt, we're so behind. We're so behind on the gachapocalypse, where I think we should start off with the new hotness, Matt, because there was a new gacha release this week. One of the bigger open world gacha games, highly anticipated. And of course, Matt, we're talking about NTE, Neverness To Everness. And Matt, you've been playing the game, and I have to ask right off the rip, just because I believe there should be a 5-star selector since that was making its way in the news circuit. Matt, how's the reroll here?
Ooh, the reroll is okay. I think I got very, very lucky in it. Because I got the limited banner in, I believe, 15 polls. And then Jaren, happily, unlike Enfield, this is one of the ones where your extra polls carry over into the next banner. So, perfectly fine with that. And I don't know, Jaren, it's not bad. You get 30, I think like right off the rip, you'll end up with 30 standard and 20 limited. But you do have to do that thing where you spend the polls and then you use the currency from the polls to like buy the extra polls from the shop type of thing.
Right.
But I feel like that's like a pretty okay amount for like a reroll. And Jaren, glad, like, very happily you can salt in here. And if you didn't use your main email already in a what do you call it, as an account, you can bind your salted account to your main email account if that's your thing.
Oh, that's pretty good. Matt. Where I might have to do this. I mean, so gotta ask, of course, before because Matt, honestly, in the mistake zone, the reroll is the game. But before we get to the actual game, how long from start to roll?
With cinematics, first time through, it'll be probably 20 minutes. There are some unskippable cinematics when you're doing the rerolls, but it'll take you maybe like 10 minutes to get to the reroll.
That doesn't sound bad, Matt. That doesn't sound bad. I've done worse.
Same.
Matt, now that we have the reroll guide out of the way, what is NTE?
NTE is a modern day with a magical element to it, open world. It's anime GTA, which is the way that it's I think very, very commonly described. And Magic GTA is like pretty accurate. The feeling though, I think, is more anime Saints Row 3, if that's a better indicator for you.
Matt, you're saying the right words to me right now.
Jared, I think like as a game, this is like a pretty solid game. One of the reasons actually that I was wanting to reroll for an early limited banner poll is that this game's limited banner is guaranteed 90. There's no 50-50. Which is weird to me. I don't know. I understand that is like, good for pulling the limited banner character, but that also means now you don't build up the standard banner characters. And I think from what I understand, like this is a game where multis are like good for your characters.
Ooh, it's rough, Matt.
Like all the characters operate fine at M0 or like like that equivalent, but the multis will give you different, I guess like it'll turn some characters from like sub DPS to now you can use them as a healer type thing. It's not so much a power thing, it's more so a you switch their class or type thing, which I don't know, that I guess like it really depends on like how you want to see that sort of thing. But very nicely, this is a system I don't think I've ever seen in a gacha before, where you're able to pick like the Mindscape equivalent. So
okay,
like instead of being like, okay, at M1 you get this, it's at M1 you can pick one of their 6, whichever ones you want, and you can unlock them in any order, which is like kind of interesting to me. Because you can also respec the one that you pick to whenever you want to do it, which is very, very nice.
That sounds good.
And I don't know, like I think that this is a very competent game, but it is very much Jaren, I don't know about you, but I still kind of, do remember, I think around PS4 era of gaming, we had talked a lot about like open world fatigue. And I think maybe I still have some of that. Like, this is my first, like, very like GTA style open world game in a while. And while I am enjoying it, I already do feel the onset of open world fatigue, where I'm just teleporting everywhere instead of taking the car, or I I'm skipping like collectibles that, even though they very generously show up on the minimap very well, but the game itself, I think, is like still very, very competent. I think the combat is maybe like a tier below ZZZ's, like ZZZ to me, but then again, I am not in the end game. But I think it personally, it's like moment to moment, I think it's better than end fields. But
okay, so is this more leaning towards character action, or because that I think when I think of a open world game like Saints Row or Grand Theft Auto, I'm not expecting the most extravagant hand-to-hand combat or melee combat. I think in terms of open world games, Sleeping Dogs might have been my favorite, just because that was that Arkham counter system. And that was still more slow and methodical. So when you're kind of comparing it to maybe Enfield or ZZZ, I'm thinking of something a bit more fast-paced and flashy. Where do you think it lands in kind of that wheelhouse?
I mean, it is very much a, gacha character fighter, right? Where it is like the type of like a game where you are, or type of combat system where you have like, your 4 characters, you have basic attack on one button, you have special attack on another button, you have ult on another button. There are ZZZ style flashes for when you need to dodge or parry. They have like a different kind of like parry where you have to do a switch character parry, which is, I think, like pretty interesting. And I don't know, it feels like I said, it just feels like a slightly less actiony ZZZ to me.
Okay.
But like again, I am not at the end game. But one thing I really do like about this game's combat system is that I think the bosses so far have been way more interesting than any boss that I fought in like ZZZ or Enfield, because these bosses actually have mechanics to them.
Okay, that's fair.
Where, like in ZZZ, it is very much like you are doing like a fight, like an action fighter, like an action character fighter game, where it is a focus on a boss, right? Where like, you legitimately are fighting them. Whereas I felt like in Neverness To Everness, the bosses had mechanics. Like there is one boss where they are like a TV karaoke set, like DJ machine. Okay. And you have to fight them to like a sort of like their attacks come out at a beat, so you have to fight them at a beat. And there's also like a point where you are literally having to follow a note highway to fight them. And there's another boss where it's like they are like a dancer, and you need to stay within like a spotlight while they're also in a spotlight. And you like the rest of the room is just dark, so you can't like fight in it. Like there are, I don't know, like nice simple mechanics like that that don't show up in games like like ZZZ, and Enfield's sort of has it, but like not really. It's just the very minimal, hey, stay out of the red circle type thing. But
right.
I don't know, I've really been enjoying like NTE's style. I think that the animations and stuff are all very clean. I do think that the hits in this game feel very light, which is kind of disappointing. But I don't know, overall, like it's more so, I think, an exploration game than it is a combat game. So I'm not gonna fault it like so hard on it not having like, heavy combat.
Okay. Matt, I know you wanted that traversal character that lets you walk on walls, and then you're already fast traveling. But I have to ask, since this is a open world game with cars, how does that driving feel like, Matt?
See, okay, I had been enjoying the driving. I was like, I was like, okay, cool. I can drive just fine. I am like drifting about as well as I would expect at this point in the game. And then when I like went, of course, here when I went online to go see what people are saying about this game, everybody hates the driving, and I was like, oh, I don't know. I thought it was okay. I have been like switching between keyboard and controller for this game. When I actually for everything. But I felt like it was like really competent on both. So I personally don't know why people are complaining about the driving, but
okay,
Jaren, if there is one thing that I am very much gonna complain about, it is the controls for menus when you are using a controller.
Ooh, Matt,
uh-huh.
you're scaring me already with just that sentence alone.
Jaren, this thing is an abomination.
How so?
Jaren, what if I told you that on some menus, you can use the D-pad and the control stick to scroll, but then on some other menus,
yes, as you would,
on some other menus, the D-pad and the control stick scroll two different things. Jared, what if I told you that in there's one particular menu where you can use the control stick to scroll up and down as you would, and then on the D-pad you can scroll down, but if you try to scroll up with the D-pad, you open the menu. It's a hotkey to open a different menu.
And that doesn't make sense.
And then, Jared, what if I told you on some of the menus where you use the control stick and the D-pad to control two different things, when you enter like a sub-menu in that menu, for the controller that you use isn't the one that we're using to originally scroll like the parent menu for that menu. Oh man.
Matt. Is this something I can change in the options? Probably not, right?
No, Jaren. I basically what I've been doing is that I have my controller out. I use it for combat. I use it for some driving, and then I use the keyboard for like menu navigation, world navigation, and Jaren, the character who can walk on walls, is a lot easier to control when I'm using the mouse and keyboard. But for everybody else, it's like about the same whether I'm using mouse and keyboard or the thumbstick.
That's okay. Now that I have that, maybe I'm just gonna have that prepped in mind before I really dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
But that gotta ask. This is a character game, and of course we're rolling for abilities and play styles, and of course meta. But gotta also have that style, that drip. Matt, how do you like the overall aesthetics of the game and the character design?
I think the character design itself, like aesthetically, are all like pretty good. It works within their world. It is like very anime-y. It's like, oh, you have your like girl with the demon horn. You have like the Nekomimi. You have like lady in a Japanese style dress. You have like furry dog dude. Like it's covering all the archetypes that I think it needs. And I think it's like doing it very well. One thing I kind of don't like about the characterization itself is that they are very anime in their personality. Like to the point where it's almost like anime caricature. And I wish like that was like toned down a bit, but I don't know. I for the most part like enjoy it. Like they are throwing a whole lot of like anime references in here, whether it's like Naruto, Steins Gate, like Evangelion. There is definitely like some JoJo stuff in there. So it's like nice seeing like those little Easter eggs. But overall, I think the design is very good. They already have skins in the game, from what I understand. Getting like a character to max like bond gets you a skin. If you roll on their banner enough, you can get a skin at like X amount of polls, or if you're lucky enough, you can just get it within the gacha itself. And I think they have like a nice, the aesthetics and stuff are very nice. The what do you call it? The skins themselves are very nice, and I'm interested in seeing like what styles they're going to explore later, because they are doing skins in the way that I wish ZZZ was doing skins, which is like, casual streetwear style skins. And like I know I really like that. One of the characters that I want from Standard Banner is Daffodil, and this is like a lady in a suit style character, and her casual is like, I guess I really like her casual clothes as well. Jaren, I haven't gotten a S rank from the Standard Banner yet, so of course I can't spend my standard selector, because what if I get them twice? So I'm kind of just waiting to get more standard pulls, seeing who I get, and then if you don't get Daffodil, I'm gonna get Daffodil, and I'm gonna work towards getting that casual skin.
Okay, Matt, that sounds like a slippery slope, but hopefully you'll get lucky, just because that's all we can hope for it, Matt. That's all that we can hope for. But that is Neverness to Everness. Matt, do you have any closing thoughts on the game? Matt, in addition to closing thoughts, how long do you think you're going to be on this train?
I want to stay around for about a month, and then I'll see where I am after that.
Okay. All right. So Neverness to Everness available now, I believe. Do you just get the selector that they announced, or is that something you have to earn through like a event or login bonus?
The selector is tied. The original selector is tied to the like Standard Banner, so everybody gets that. And then I think they are giving out another selector where, as long as you've made your account before, like, I think it's like the middle of May, you get it. So, if you want to do those rerolls, you should do them soon, so you get both selectors.
Okay. So, AKA, I should do this right after this podcast ends.
Right after this podcast or next weekend, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Make sure to get your events done in all your other gacha games as well, friends. So that's Neverness to Everness. And Matt, we name dropped it. We have to talk about the original gacha. Well, not necessarily the original gacha of the Mistake Zone, but arguably one of the top games of the Mistake Zone, and that is Zenless Zone Zero. Matt, a lot has happened since we last were really sunk our teeth on ZZZ on the Mistake Zone. And Matt, where do you want to go? Do you want to talk about everything that's come out with Chapter 3? Do you want to talk about some of our thoughts on Chapter 2? Matt, how should we intersect? Which hollow should we dive into?
Jared, I was going to ask you which one you think is going to be less negative, but I honestly don't know which one is going to be less negative.
Oh, man. So, Matt, we have one more, I guess, update for Chapter 2, and then we're off to whatever area it is for Chapter 3. But we have two more characters coming up, and Matt, let's just get into it with Chapter 2 of Zenless Zone Zero. With us being in the home stretch right now, what are your general thoughts of at least the characters to be released so far in terms of design and playstyle, and just your, I guess, attachment to them compared to how you felt with Chapter 1?
I mean, Jaren, I pulled all three of the idols. That like put like a real big like hurt on my poly wallet. I actually ended up getting, what do you call it, the skins for Nangong and Arya. I skipped Sunas because I don't like that skin, and I feel like it doesn't match with the other two. But I like the idols as a set. I know that Nangong is like probably better in other places, but I'm gonna keep them as a set when I play as them. Jaren, I didn't like how much they pushed Shungus, and I feel like if she wasn't a Void Hunter, I wouldn't have pulled for her. But I feel like that's it's a whole other thing. I feel like the last time we talked about everybody else up to Yashing Guang, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Jaren, I kind of want Promia. I'll throw a couple pulls into that well, but I don't think I'm gonna pull for Altered Billy.
Man. That hurts me, but I think that's how I'm viewing the last Chapter 2 characters.
Oh shit, sorry, well. Jared. I pulled Sisia and her Wenjin. Because, oh man, Jared, I love Sisia, but oh man, She was way too weak without her weapon, and that makes me feel bad.
Not having any synergy from what I saw with Jane is a crime.
Oh man, Jaren. Oh, it makes me so sad.
Since the Mistake Zone is a Jane church for all intents and purposes, man, it's hard out there. It's hard out there to be a Jane boy right now. But kind of when I look back on chapter 2, it's the same sentiments where it wasn't the thing that I'm most worried about with Zenless Zone Zero overall. And as we look into chapter 3, is this feeling of what is Zenless Zone Zero's kind of identity when it comes to the Hoyoverse gacha space? Just because when this first was announced, I was really looking forward to it just because I really did like that street where urban, more modern aesthetic. And while with chapter 2, we still had some of that. And, arguably with the angels, even though technically they were revealed in chapter 1, even so. It really did lean heavily on the mystic arts. And with this more, traditional Eastern aesthetic and, that martial arts vibe where I liked it for the most part. But again, it kind of went away from what I originally liked about Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah. And as much as I did like the temple, I feel like it just went away from what I came to this game for. And then when we had the reveal of chapter 3 and the characters being released there, it really gives off that more Victorian, that more, not necessarily steampunk, but again, it's still a step away from what that urban motif that I really enjoy from Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah. And I don't know, I think it's that notion of if you were to show me all the designs from chapter 2 and chapter 3, if you told me that those were either Genshin or Star Rail characters, I would have believed you that. Where I don't know. I'm hoping that at least some alt costumes might capture that aesthetic I really like. But seeing all those chapter 3 characters essentially on a platter, it made me go, I don't know, Matt. I don't know what I'm feeling here. But since I opened the floodgates for chapter 3, what were your thoughts when you kind of saw the info dump there?
I mean, the setting I think I do kind of like just because it is kind of steampunky, but I do understand that it is like a very far step away from, what it was in 1.0 or like I guess like season 1 in general. But I don't know, Jaren, I kind of just like looking at these characters and Jaren, I'm a sucker for like, steampunk fantasy and some of these characters are like really hitting for me. And Jaren, Severian is in this, and if Severian isn't a good Cecilia partner, I'm a flip, dude.
Matt, it's on cost fallacy, Matt. You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh, Jared.
So I pulled up the list of the characters in Zenless Zone Zero Season 3 or Chapter 3, which have been revealed right now. And Matt, let's run the gauntlet and see how we're feeling with them.
Okay.
Matt, how do you feel about Norma, our girl with the big hat and the guns coming out of it?
Oh man, Jared. Once I found out that the hat was a bamboo, and I saw Norma's animations, I really want Norma. I don't know if I have like a place on my team for Norma because I don't know where I'd use her. She seems very good.
She's a stun, correct?
Yeah, from what I understand, she's a fire stun agent.
Matt, I have a lot of stun agents right now. I need me some either anomalies or just some general attack agents because I like the Flash, Matt. I like the Flash, but Norma looks pretty cool. But you can't have Norma without Valana. And Matt, I think this brings us to, I think, one of the biggest changes to Chapter 3 in the win element. Just because, we had are since chapter 1 all throughout chapter 2 there have been, what was it, like 5-6 elements in all. There was physical, fire, electric, ice, and ether,
yeah.
correct?
Mm-hmm,
Am I missing one? Just 5, right?
Well, yeah, those, and then like, they're Void Hunter upgraded versions.
Yes, but for the most part, those were the core elementals. And with chapter 3, we are being introduced to Wind. And I guess before we continue running the character gauntlet, Matt, what are your thoughts so far on everything we've heard of the Wind element being introduced in ZZZ?
Man, they really don't like Miyavi, Jared.
Yep. Matt, this is a Jane Church, but Miyavi is another figure we hold in high regard here. Oh, man. So, yeah.
Oh, man. But
Jared,
Jared,
break down what Wind is looking like.
So Wind is kind of a weird element. So basically what happens is that you apply wind just like you would with any other element, and then you aim to apply a different anomaly element. And then instead of it discording and, kind of removing the element that was on before and replacing like it with the new element, what Wind does is that it doesn't discord. It does something called, like, I think it's a wind swept, and it's basically the same thing, but instead of removing wind, it removes the new oncoming anomaly effect, and it kind of like does a special thing, or like special kind of damage based on whichever element is coming onto it. But the wind element stays on, and I think it refreshes itself. I'm not sure about that 100%, but basically it doesn't discord, so Miyabi doesn't benefit from it. That's what I'm getting here.
Matt, all, you know me, I'm a dumb boy, and I didn't process what any of that meant, but all that was the equivalent of being slapped in the face because I want Miyabi to continue to be a tier 0 agent.
I think Miyabi's going to stay a tier 0 agent. She's Jaren Miyabi's so strong.
She's so strong, and she's getting a new costume, which, Matt, if I had to be real, not feeling her new costume.
Yeah.
Give me more streetwear, but Matt, Wind's a new element. We need Wind, so... Yep. Is Valena technically a must pull for you?
Okay, this is what I'm thinking, Jared. By the time they release Valena, there will probably be about like 2 patches worth of leaks out at that time. So I'm gonna see if there's anyone else who is Wind within those next 2 patches, and if, like I expect, Remiel is a Wind element, I might just wait for I'm expecting Remiel to be a Wind Void Hunter, or if not a Wind Void Hunter, a Wind Yeshuan style Void Hunter.
So a Void Hunter equivalent. That's my hope too. And so going down this list, Matt, how do you feel about Claret?
Jared, I'll play Claret. Jared, they got me. They got me with the Cinderella, Jared. They got me with the Cinderella.
I like her. I liked her design too, as well.
God, Jared, I hope she's not trash, man.
Not. Yeah. I'm so sorry about Cecilia.
Oh man.
Honestly, I know we're going through the gauntlet, but I love Cecilia as a character. She's so fun. I really liked all her story involvement. I think she's just a good, earnest character. But Matt, hearing you crash out about how she's not working as much as you want her to on your teams, that made me feel real bad, Matt. That made me feel... Matt, to me, Cecilia feels like a character that should be inserted into a standard banner once her limited ends. That's just me.
Jared, I didn't know until recently that like there's wording that says, hey, this character is never going to show up in the standard banner.
Weird. But Matt, this brings us to Roxy, and I feel like of most of these characters, Roxy is the most Genshin Impact character I've seen. Where if you told me Roxy was a Genshin character from a little after I stopped playing Genshin, I would have totally believed you. Where I don't know, Matt. Roxy doesn't do anything for me, unfortunately.
I'm interested in her design. but like
Mm-hmm.
I I can't get a grasp of how this character would play based on how just like looking at them.
Yeah.
It screams support just because like to me like or in the trailer she did seem soft spoken, and I am just thinking pushing that to you are not going to be a DPS, but I don't know. I'm interested in seeing like what she's actually going to do.
Mm-hmm. Curious about the playstyle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, for Sigrid, are you going to run her as an end closer, a late surger, a pace chaser, or a front runner?
Oh, you know what? To me, she looks like a front runner. Honestly, she looks like a front runner or an end closer. I don't know.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like anything in between. She's one of those two.
I feel like you need to. She has a good power amplitude, but you got to push power on her. You got to push power. Matt, you can run. How are you feeling about Sigrid?
Jaren, you know me. I am a. Damn, Sissy got me for this as well. I am a sucker for like spear characters. And
yes.
Jaren, Sigrid uses like, a spear polearm type weapon, so I think I'm gonna fall for her, but I think she's gonna Sissia, and like it makes me sad.
We can't win, Matt. We can't win. Moving on, and if I said Roxy has big Genshin energy, Phoenix has big HSR energy to me. Where I don't know, Matt. How are you feeling with Phoenix?
Phoenix, I think, was the character that I had the least amount of interest in for this whole trailer. She seemed, in this crowd of people, she seemed the most normal, and like that, I don't know, it didn't really like, tickle my fancy.
Okay, that's fair. And we're going into, I think, to me personally, 4 of the biggest heavy hitters, but based on this like chart you sent me, one of them is... Actually, 2 of them are below Claret, so I didn't realize Claret was also highly anticipated in the community. But we've seen him before. It's Seth's big brother, Severian. Matt, where the boys at? Where the boys at?
Jaren, we got the one boy for the whole patch. I think that's about all the what do you call it, Hoyo ever puts into the ZZZ patches.
So Matt, tell me this. How's Severin gonna save Cecilia?
Okay. He has to, in some way, boost electric attack. And maybe, Jaren, he's gonna just be upgraded Seth. And he's also, electric defense. I don't know. Jaren, I hope Severian is good for Sissia. I also hope that he's not good for Sissia. I don't really want to, put more pulls towards making Cecilia stronger. I just want Cecilia to be stronger herself.
No, that's fair.
Oh, man.
That's fair. So Matt, this brings us to the one character when they were first revealed. I thought, is this character playable? Matt, how do you think the storyteller will work in chapter 3?
This seems like an enemy. Like just design wise, she looks like she would be like, evil prophet to me.
Yep.
And I don't know, if she is playable, I am just expecting her to be like Dark Ashtra, basically. But I don't know, I could actually see her being an anomaly character as well.
Yeah, I could see that too. Design-wise, I really do like her design, but for some reason this screams Big Bad energy to me. Maybe Big Bad turned playable, which I would hope as well, but really curious to see if she would also be a support character, which I can kind of see as well. And that, this brings us to the big heavy hitters, in my opinion, and likes-wise, pretty much the most anticipated characters from the community right now. You mentioned her before. We got our first look at her in one of the latest story chapters, and that's Remiel. Matt, how are you thinking? How are you feeling towards this possibly and maybe most likely Void Hunter-like character?
I hope that the white outfit isn't her default outfit. I liked her black outfit. If they don't give her black outfit at least as a buyable costume, I'm going to be really disappointed. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, Jaren, she's almost definitely going to be a Void Hunter level character. or almost for sure going to be a Void Hunter level character. I'm going to pull for this because Jared, we meta boys, and that's our
Yep.
that's our burden to bear. But
+1 at the very least for me.
Oh man. See, okay,
but
I'm curious, like how if. I guess I'm going on to the next turn. I'm curious if Sunbringer is going to be playable, and if she's also going to be a Void Hunter, and if she is, what the release order for like these two are going to be.
Mm-hmm. Where I would assume Remiel would be the 3 or the half anniversary character coming by June, I think. Yeah, I think it would be around June. And then Sunbringer would be your New Year's Void Hunter character. If assuming these two are playable, Remiel most likely playable. But assuming Sunbringer is the actual Void Hunter, the named Void Hunter, and then lore purposes, Sunbringer's been mentioned a lot lately. I'm just curious. I would expect her to be the one that we see closer to end of year, where I don't think any of the other characters announced so far have that Void Hunter energy, and I guess Sunbringer being name dropped in lore as well, you already have that expectation. But kind of going back to Remiel, based on how we've seen her in the story, and then her being able to have those ether feathers and essentially stopping time, Matt, how do you want her to play?
I mean, since I'm expecting her to be a wind anomaly, Void Hunter level character, I kind of, I'm just expecting her to be an on-fielder. I'm expecting, hey, put your feathers down, and then do it, hold. Definitely, she's gonna have a big hold basic attack button.
Yep.
But to be honest, I'm kind of interested in seeing Void Hunters change a bit more in role, and I feel like if it's gonna happen, maybe Remiel would be it. Where I think she won't not be a DPS in some way, but I think it would be more interesting if she was a burst DPS that you switch onto, blow all your energy and your big attack, and then you go back to a more sustained DPS character.
That makes sense. And with the Void Hunters we've had so far, they are heavy carries, heavy DPS. I guess just based on how they've been set up, Matt, what do you think a support Void Hunter would look like in this game?
A support Void Hunter? Ooh. Okay. I would expect them to be... Okay, when I think of a support Void Hunter, I would want them to work with everybody, but for some reason in my head, I feel like they would be a, hey, I am supporting, crit damage, or I'm supporting anomaly, or I'm supporting rupture. I would expect them to be one of those three, and I guess it really depends on the character themselves. But a support Void Hunter would be crazy. Actually, you know what? I think it would be interesting if a support Void Hunter was actually more so energy based, so it would be universally used, but it is not a full power or pure damage number type thing.
Where that's what I was kind of thinking, similar to that, or just have a bunch of summons. I don't know. Give me more summon characters. I think that would be fun as well.
Are there any summon characters other than Lucy and Lucia?
I think those are pretty much it. And we need more summons, Matt. We need more summons. But before we leave the Chapter 3 train, Matt, Sunbringer is going to have a big sword if she's playable, right?
Well, I was assuming it's going to be a big spear, because her weapon was the massive flagpole, right?
Oh, was it?
That's
right,
what she
okay,
had in
that
the
makes
thing.
sense.
Yeah.
Matt, I like me a good big sword character. ZZE needs more S-rank big sword characters. Sorry, Minato.
I mean, Jared, if it's just one big ass, flagpole arm, I'm on board, Jared. I'm on board. If Remiel is the wind anomaly Void Hunter level, I would expect Sunbringer to be the wind attack Void Hunter.
Fair.
Actually, I want it to be wind rupture. I don't have good rupture coverage.
Yeah, I think they need to do more with rupture as well. But Matt, for neglecting our protagonists, the twins, Wise and Belle. A lot of news coming out from them too. And since we are fashion forward here on the Mistake Zone, Matt, what do you think of the Chapter 3 drip? And do you think we can edit the accessories there or have they announced the accessory capability there?
I 100% think that they will let us, change the accessories. I think we'll be able to use the same ones as the 2.0 accessories. I think it would be wild if they didn't let us put the horse head on them. Jaren, I'm secretly hoping that with 3.0, they also are going to be like, hey, and also the 1.0 like costume is now editable as well.
Please. Iconic to me, Matt. Iconic to me. I need to have that. Be able to have my accessories.
Also, I think I like the Season 3 outfit more than the Season 2 outfit.
Same, Matt, same. But we finally have the twins also playable, quote unquote, with them being what seems to be a Stan user, and then they'll have their, I don't know, summon, I guess. From what has been leaked, what has been data mined, what has been shown, how are you feeling about Wise and Belle being quote unquote playable? Potentially with an A rank character, or how do you want it to work out?
I think they actually ended up saying that it was an S, like Pyrosis as a S rank character.
Okay.
It really depends on how it works. Like, I would prefer that they send it out as like a Pokemon and we are just playing Pokken at that point, rather than like if this was like Astral Chain and they are on field and then like, I don't know, your special attack button controls Pyrosis or whatever.
But Matt, this is something that I'm still kind of on the fence about. There is something about, again, when I first came to ZZZ, having the proxies be actual proxies, being these support figures behind the scenes, and with I'm playing as Belle, of course, but with Belle becoming more on field and then finally having a Stan user, honestly, I'm not sure if I'm 100% sold on the idea. I know the game and the narrative have to evolve. It has to change. But again, I feel like this is one too many steps away from what I originally came to the game for, where I'm not 100% sold on the idea. But if you want to make the twins playable, I think this is probably the best compromise, because at the end of the day, as much as I like the idea of Belle throwing hands, I never want to see Belle throw hands in this game. But how about you, Matt? With how the story's been progressing, where do you like the trajectory the twins are on or have been on?
I mean, I feel the same as you. Like, I really hope that they take a backseat in terms of action, and I hope that Pyrosis allows them to do that. It would be really funny, actually, if Pyrosis came out of Eos and it's just Eos and Pyrosis on the field. That'd be a really good goof. But they're not gonna do that. But yeah, I hope this allows them to like kind of stay further back, because that makes more sense. Whereas we're like, I don't know, if they had to like they become like, I don't know, Pyrosis and they leave their body in like non-hollow, like even that is like better than them, going in. Because I think like them going into the hollow is the thing that like I really dislike the most.
Where I know that you're writing it, and that it has to do with ether and stuff like that, but I don't know. This is getting a bit too out there for me. But what can you do, Matt? The sunk cost fallacy is real, and we're too invested in this game.
I mean, at the very least, at the very least, I like the design of Pyrosis. It's very Jaren, what was the name of the Fire Emblem Persona game?
SMT XFE.
Yes.
Yeah, the idol game, right?
That game. It looks like it came out of there, and I really like that.
Yeah. Man, I really like that game. I should go back to it. I probably won't. But yeah, I don't know. Design-wise, it's okay. But again, not really my... Yeah, it really screamed Fire Emblem to me, so I'm not sure if I'm really down with the design, but we'll see, Matt. We shall see. But that was us that was a scattershot view of the Zenless Zone Zero, but not coming to Steam, and I can't wait for it to be my most played game of 2026.
Oh man.
6 months in as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt, just any closing thoughts on Zenless Zone Zero moving forward, or at least wrapping up Chapter 2?
I don't know. I'm kind of glad Chapter 2 is coming to an end, but
Yeah.
I hope like Chapter 3's story feels more solid to me and isn't as long, and they don't have like just like a hard like character waifu push in this one.
Where if I had to be 100% honest, I think I'm losing interest in the main story if I had to be, just real about it. Where I really did enjoy the Angel sub story. I even most recently the Blaze story with Simmer and the hot pot restaurant, where I feel like I'm at that point where Zenless Zone Zero is getting a bit too over the top for my liking, which says something. And I think I'm coming to appreciate the more grounded side events lately, where even if I'm just doing the puzzle game for 20 minutes, I think that's given me a lot more enjoyment overall than some of the more elaborate story beats. But at least Cecilia is Cecilia's a pal. Cecilia's a pal. But the real way we end the Zenless Zone Zero conversation is not with the twins being playable. Their faction is now Fathom. Not when we're going to see that Trigger and Vivian Alter join their faction.
Oh man, Jaren, I can't wait for Alter characters to become just Fathom characters. Oh,
and realistically, who do you think we can potentially see an alter for in Chapter 3, just based on everyone so far? Like, do you think Nicole's a lock at this point?
I think for sure Nicole is going to be like their 3 to 4 epilogue character. Like, because that's where like Anby and Billy ended up landing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Nicole on lock, do you think there are any other characters you would want to see an alter this chapter?
Ooh. Jaren, I really like Lucy as a character, so I would really like her to get an alter, but I don't think she's gonna get an alter. I would like someone from Bellabog to get an alter, because I feel like Bellabog has just gotten forgotten.
Where not even their appearance in the Simmer side event recently was a bit out there for me, but what can you do? I still don't have Coletta, and that makes me feel bad. Yeah. But Matt, this is the Gachapocalypse, and a lot of anniversaries are happening right now. Arknights had one with the Silver Ash altar, but Nikke is celebrating its 3.5 anniversary, and this brought forth 2 highly anticipated characters in Anise and Neon, which, Matt, Anise and Neon were part of the original kind of counter squad in the game, which is the protagonist squad alongside Rappy, and then the main character self-insert commander. And Rappy already had her altar, so with the 3.5 anniversary, we got the altars for Anise and Neon, where, Matt, it just makes me feel good to see your original 4-star equivalent characters be quote unquote the protagonist, but actually be 4 stars, but then be promoted to essentially what are the 3 strongest units in the game for the most part. And I like when games do that, where they don't forget who your protagonists are, and within lore, you're able to buff them into characters and kits that are worthy of being given that title. But with Nikke 3.5, the anniversary mainly revolves around Anise and her pop star formal idol life, and then kind of putting that to bed in order to be, the shining light for the next war portion of the game. And this was highly anticipated in the community just because we were learning about her idol backstory and some of the idols before her, and some really big kind of things that we've heard here and there, such as the Smile Time project, and having that really fleshed out. And I think in terms of it being an idol story, not it still hits all the same tropes, but I think it's still told pretty well. And there are some moments that really subvert what you would expect um, to be told from a story like this. But for the most part, it does follow the typical beats where, you'll have them starting off as indies and then them trying to really break it out or properly debut into the mainstream, and all the pitfalls there with dealing with a major agency who are secretly trying to kind of bring them down, and just the mental toll on how you're dealing with the public. So I think if you're looking for an idol storyline, I do recommend the Nikke 3.5 portion, at least there, just because I do think it's well written for the most part, and then it just tells kind of the more, or it shines a light on some of the more intensive interactions with the community, and then how these idols are commodified, and putting on top of the fact that Nikkes are these essentially cyborg robot characters with human brains attached, and what that does to kind of the theming is also good food for thought. But Matt, the reason why I really wanted to discuss Nikke with you, and with some, this is going to be a bit more of a spoiler territory, and I kind of wanted just to get your thoughts on what you thought of this particular trope, of this particular kind of narrative beat. But within Nikke, there are three corporations essentially, and these are the Nikke manufacturers who produce these cyborg women. And one of them is called Tetra, and they're mostly the entertainment manufacturer. They're the entertainment agency. They're the one whose purpose isn't necessarily for technological and tactical advances, but just to make sure everyone on the arc is happy, just that morale's up, because when you really think about it, the service is being overrun by robot aliens trying to murder everyone. That would make you pretty depressed. So that's kind of what Tetra's deal is in Nikke. And their CEO, Mustang, this really flamboyant figure, one that's really known to look after his Nikke, making sure that they're treated right, making sure nothing bad happens under the table. He is this eccentric, good guy character that everyone has grown really fond of, really attached to throughout the first 3 years of Nikke. And during the lead up into the 3.5 anniversary, we finally got Mustang's backstory, where in the kind of precursor to this event, we see original Mustang, and Matt, he is completely 180. He is ruthless. Just the way he treats Nikke, just some of his underlying tactics and how he kind of views the world and presents himself. Matt, people thought that some of the other manufacturer CEOs were, brutal, but Mustang in the past made them look like saints, essentially. That's how bad it is. And then all of a sudden everyone thinks, wait, how can this character, start off like this and get to the end point of what the Mustang we know today, that's so compassionate for Nikke, that's so positive, and start off as someone who was honestly disgusting. And that's where the topic of body swapping comes in, where present day Mustang can't be previous Mustang. And this was kind of a point of contention in the community for a bit, where you had the subset of people that wanted this Mustang to have some sort of, come to the light moment, come to, to have something happen to him to make him completely change his way. They wanted that story of redemption. And then you had the other camp of, no, this guy's disgusting. Whatever happens to him needs to be a body swap. Like, it can't be present day Mustang. And, there was that back and forth discord throughout the community. And that, when it comes to your personal kind of, your preference when it comes to storytelling, how do you feel about redemption characters versus the notion of a body swap?
Okay, so when you're saying body swap, do you literally mean they swapped, like this is just a legitimately different person?
Where the running theory was he was the original manager of Anise, became the new Mustang. essentially. Like body swap in either the original person dies and their identity is taken over, or literal like brain body swaps. But essentially, the notion of this character has been replaced with someone else as a way to kind of remedy the situation, as opposed to giving them a redemption storyline.
I mean, I kind of don't like body swap that much when you describe it like that. I don't know. I feel like that's cheap, and also I am biased here because I do like me a come to the light story or like fall into the darkness type like character story. I actually really like seeing characters 180 from their previous ideals, whether they are good to bad or bad to good.
And I think that just creates more compelling storylines, where I was always, when this discourse was happening, I was against the body swap, the having new Mustang be actual someone else completely, just because, I don't know, I think when it comes to storytelling, I want to see character redemption. Or on the flip side, as you mentioned, I want to see someone pull that 180 and see their reasoning going into despair, because kind of as you said, Matt, I do find the idea of body swapping lazy, just because there's, likewise with the story of redemption, it has to be written well, and there are ways you can mess that up. But on the flip side, you can mess up a body swap situation in so many ways, and it can just feel cheap. And Matt, needless to say, my fears were realized. New Mustang is actually his son, and just the way they wrote it just found really hokey. And I don't know, man, when it was revealed that New Mustang is his son, and this was all elaborate ploy for him to get back at his dad and bring Tetra, this manufacturer, to the light. I don't know, there was just something, I felt like I had to apologize to all my friends, because for the most part, I really do like how Nikke is written, how its overall lore is. But this was one of those missteps of, I don't know about this. It's, but yeah, other than that, Anise and Neon, just strong characters, man. Just really strong characters. Love their designs. And Matt, me, there are idol costumes on that you can buy. And I might have bought some Google Play bucks because there was a sale and got you some bonus points back. But yeah, overall, if you're looking for a fun or at least almost intense idol story, again, you won't really find anything innovative in terms of narrative, but I think it is just well done in that regard, body swapping aside. So if you're looking for a time to start Nikke, recommend it. There are some free pulls you can get, and these characters are very strong right now. But Matt, those are kind of the gachas I've been playing. And I guess for our cleanup before we sign off, Matt, Uma Musume, I still have a mixed relationship with. This is a game where I'll have episodes, aka a few days, where I'm just all in, and then right now I'm in that lull period of I don't want to spend 40 minutes a day doing a run. And the fact that the support card meta is finally creeping up to me, and me wanting to have more maxed support cards for the race bonuses makes me feel real bad, Matt. So I might have to be ducking out on here. But not part of our gachapocalypse from a few weeks ago. We wanted to touch on Enfield. Gotta ask, Matt, are you still an Enfield boy?
Not so much, Jaren. I am I'm on life support here. I'm just signing in to get the dailies, especially because they did that thing where they gave everybody like basically a monthly pass.
Right.
So I'm barely hanging on right now.
Okay, but Matt, wow, we traversed the gachapocalyptic wasteland, and now we have gotten to the Don't Match Me challenge. Matt, this is our beacon of light, where every week one of us will bring forth 5 questions, and all our friends out there, all you have to do is make sure you come up with an answer that doesn't match our own. And Matt, I believe you're up to bat, so please take it away.
All right, so Jaren, in honor of Zenless Zone Zero going into 3.0 soon, this is my Don't Match Me 3 edition.
Okay.
So, all the questions here are going to be in some way related to 3. Let's start off with question 1. Jaren, I just want you to name the 3rd game of any video game franchise.
Ooh, okay.
So name that game in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to go, of course, with Mass Effect 3.
Good answer, Matt. Good answer.
Jaren?
I went with... Not... Is it a surprise that I went with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3?
Jaren, it is not. Oh, man. Okay. All right, going on to question 2. Jaren, in that same vein, name any anime with 3 seasons.
Ooh.
Any anime
with 3 seasons or at least 3 seasons?
At least 3 seasons. At least 3 seasons.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Jaren, of course, I gotta go with the currently running Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wander the Dungeon, Season 3. Oh, man.
Matt? You got me, Matt.
We got him.
Where, honestly, I initially said working, but I couldn't tell if that was 3 seasons, so I panicked, and honestly,
man.
Matt, had to go with the vending machine.
Right. Jaren, I like that working added 1 exclamation mark for every one of their seasons.
Matt, I'm so stupid. It literally says 3 seasons here on Google, and I didn't notice.
Good.
But I panicked at the end, Matt.
Good.
Man. Got, Matt.
Got. All right. For question 3, I want you to name 3 fictional characters who commonly get grouped together. So,
okay.
Any 3 characters, as long as like you could like see like, oh, if I name these 3, you'd be like, oh, of course, that's like a group. In 3, 2, 1, Jaren, of course, I'm gonna go with our boys, Ed, and Eddie.
That's a good one.
What'd you go with?
Matt, I know technically they're a squad of 4, but Matt, I need the rough call for this.
Ooh.
Would you accept my answer? Joey, Ty, and Yugi.
Yo. Boys rule.
No, Ty's the girl, right?
Yeah.
Tristan's the boy.
Man, Tristan. Oh man, rip Tristan. Oh no, pencil head.
That because when I think of Yugi's friends, I immediately think of Ty or whatever, Ty and Joey, and I know Tristan's there, but like I don't think of him.
Tristan's not a real duelist.
He doesn't immediately come to mind as Yugi's friend to me.
Oh man, God, that's a good goof. You know what? Yeah, it's fine. I think that's fine with me.
Oh man, I'm trying to go in my mind of other 3's characters. But I went with our Yugi squad there.
I had also thought of like Powerpuff Girls, Team Rocket.
Okay, fair. Itadori and his friends, yeah. You're right. You're right.
Okay, going on to question 4. I want you to name any 3v3 tag fighting game.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So name that 3v3 fighting game in 3, 2, 1. Jared, I'm going with the one that I get pushed ads for the most recently, which is Invincible Versus.
Matt? You got me again.
Oh,
Matt,
no.
You got me again.
Oh, no, we got him. Oh, man. Jared, everybody's getting ads for this game.
Everyone is getting ads for this game.
Oh, man.
Matt, I heard it actually plays, it is reminiscent of Killer Instinct, where you have that combo meter where you have to,
really?
You have to lock in your combo before you start to get, before your opponent's able to like break out of it, which Matt, in fighting games, I like the idea of a combo meter. I think that, I don't want to be juggled infinitely, so I think that's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
Jared, before moving on, your previous question got me thinking about our gang of Naofumi, Raftali, and Philo, and then I remember specifically you asked, I forget which Don't Match Me it was, but then I was pleading that Melty was part of their crew at some point. She was, but she's the Tristan of the group. She's the Tristan of the group.
Oh, man.
Not sure I watched Shield Hero. I didn't pick up after...
I don't know.
Season. I don't know.
Jared, I can't say. I feel like Shield Hero went fucking crazy for a bit, and now I don't know where that series is.
I was so high on it at the end of season 1. Shout out to 2019, of course. But I don't know. I fell off season 2 hard, I think. But maybe I should go back to it. Maybe I should go back.
Maybe. Okay. So, going on to the final question. The most difficult question. You know, and you know, I think that this is not only a don't match me question, Jaren. This is a try to beat me question. Because Jaren,
okay,
the last question for this Don't Match Me 3 edition is, of course, rock, paper, scissors.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So, tell me what you're going with.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. Of course, I'm going with rock.
Matt.
Jaren?
Not my day. I went with
oh no,
scissors.
Oh no, Jaren.
Matt didn't match, but got beat.
Oh no. Hate to see it.
No. This was a rough one for me, Matt. This was a rough one.
This was rough.
Matt, did you know, since I'm on the Wikipedia page for Shield Hero, Raftalia was selected as Best Girl at the 4th Annual Crunchyroll Anime Awards 2020.
That makes sense.
Oh, man. But Matt, I'm hoping our friends out there fared better than me, because that was a rough Don't Match Me this week. That was a rough one for me. But Matt, that was our bi-monthly trip to the gachapocalyptic wasteland. But Matt, as always, I want to thank you for joining me this week, editing the podcast, and of course, bringing us the Don't Match Me challenge. Hey, Matt, good luck with your rules.
Oh man, thanks, man. Jaren, of course, I want to thank you as always for hosting and playing a game of rock, paper, scissors with me.
It was a tough one. Matt, got a shout out. Matt, who should we shout out and thank from NTE?
Ooh, I mean, I like Nanalie. She's the one that runs up all. She's the current nominated banner. I don't want to thank Tagido, which is a main mission that is horrible in this game, which is basically their mascot character. I want to thank Mint, because she seems like a stand-up girl who just wants the best for our character in NTE.
All right, sounds good. Matt, gotta thank Cecilia. Matt, Cecilia deserves a better.
Yeah,
she deserves better.
Cecilia deserves her own Gacha game.
Yep. Want to thank Cecilia. Gotta thank Jane, because this is a Jane church. Gotta thank Miyabi, because this is also a Miyabi church. Matt, I want to thank Anise, Neon, and Rappy. Also Dorothy. Matt, I guess Anise, Neon, and Rappy could have been an answer to that question as well. But and also want to thank Matt. I want to thank our friends for listening and wish them good luck on their polls. So Matt, Big May coming up, and Matt, I know we've been talking about potential vault episodes. I still want to do that About Me grids.fun game episode one day. Matt, I've been doing the top 25 games of your personal top 25 games, and I don't know, maybe we'll keep that in the kitchen. Maybe we'll let that one cook and see how that will form eventually. But those are two potential vaults. But Matt, anything coming up? The April showers are behind us. The May flowers are starting to bloom. Anything in May that you're looking forward to that you might discuss coming up here on the Mistake Zone?
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna discuss it on the Mistake Zone, but Jared, are we gonna get those like 80 popcorn buckets? Was that a thing, or was I imagining that?
Matt, I feel so bad that I totally forgot about the Devil's Wears Prada purse popcorn bags. But fortunately, our friend Mark was able to secure one. So Matt, let's get Mark on and have him review that popcorn bucket.
I mean, Jaren, it seems like on the Cineplex website, you can still pre-order the Devil Wears Prada 2 handbag popcorn bucket, which for some reason is like a whole $11 more expensive than the Yoshi one. But I feel like
that's what's scaring me from online, Matt. Where if we went in person, that was $26. I think I would have bought it. But for 43, I don't know, Matt. I don't know. A bit too much for
43 is a stretch.
When there are gacha skins to buy. But Matt, beefy boy episode. But of course, we have to say bye to our friends once again, at least for this week. So Matt, please take it away.
This has been the Mistake Zone, and we're all out of polls for our gacha games.
Gotta say about that.